Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Gannon SBDC's podcast, Small Business as Usual. I'm Nadia McKay, and I'm joined with Dan Para from Presque Isles Surf and Skate. So I wanted to start off by just kind of asking how you started your business.
Well, got laid off from my job and was spinning my wheels trying to figure out what to do with my life. And saw a void within the Erie community, the area actually, in terms of snowboarding, surfing, skateboarding, and beach stuff.
Yeah.
That's where this idea kind of came up. We were on vacation, the Outer Banks, and it works down there. It's how does it not work here? Well, just nobody had done it yet. And that's where first thing I did was Google how to start a business, and the SBDC popped up, and here we are.
Yeah.
But we're almost a little over a year now, so year and a half
Awesome.
from
So-
meeting with the SBDC. Sorry.
When did you first have your idea to start the business?
May of last year.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And then, you went full speed ahead.
Full speed
That's
ahead.
awesome. Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. So tell me a little bit about your journey, how you started the business and, where you are now.
Basically, it started as a concept. As I mentioned, we were on vacation, and I didn't even tell my wife at that point. I was just bouncing around, going to different surf shops, skateboard shops, beach shops, things like that, getting an idea in my head. I knew what I wanted to do, but I wanted to see how they did it down there. So kind of started the idea, just brainstorming and getting an idea what to do. Then on the way home, kids went with my in-laws, so I talked to my wife about it and thought that she was going to tell me, "You're crazy, that's not a good idea." And she was totally on board. 11 hours in the car driving home from the Outer Banks, we sat and basically planned a business. First thing I did as soon as I got home was Google how to start a business. And that's, as I mentioned, SBDC. My wife bought me the Black and Yellow Start a Business for Dummies book that was about this thick. Read that and had sent an email. And by Monday at 10 a.m., I got an email from Dan Pirtle, who was here, and had a meeting the following week. And then went through the first step and all that good stuff. So that was kind of the planning stage, and obviously building a business plan and then some financial hurdles and things like that. And I think it was 10 months after the initial meeting, we opened the doors. So
awesome.
Pretty cool. As it stands now, I think about 8 months in. And I mean, starting a business is never easy. There's always challenges and peaks and valleys, highs and lows, however you want to call it. But so far, so good.
Yeah, and that's one of the questions I did want to ask you. What are some of, the struggles that you've encountered, starting up and, while you're in business the last couple months?
Yeah, with our business, I like to think that it's easier nowadays to get people to come in the door and know who we are and all that, but just based on social media. Haven't spent a ton of money on advertising or anything like that. It's just I've been told we have a good social media presence. That was one of the good things. Some of the challenges and hurdles, I mean, starting off, financing, obviously, that's a tough one. We were able to make it work. It was a challenging situation, we'll say, but got over that. Starting out, it was cool. It was hip. Everybody wanted to come in and check out the new shop in town. It was great. And then things kind of leveled off, and then fall hit. Obviously our business is pretty seasonal.
Right.
And that September till now, essentially. Obviously we had the snowstorm this morning. We're a snowboard shop. People are really starting to think about snowboarding and winter sports now. So we've had consistent traffic over the last week and a half. But prior to that, it was pretty slow. So those have been some of the challenges. And then, learning how to manage cash flow and things of that nature. It's that's a challenge, obviously, which I'm still not good at. So
going with that, what are some of, the notable successes that you would say that you have had with your business?
Well, obviously, I keep score, and I have financial projections, which you guys all,
Yeah.
help me out with. And I am actually ahead on where I should be. So,
That's
month to
awesome.
month, based on my financial projections,
Mhm.
I couldn't believe, that was pretty cool. And then some of the community things that we're doing, as I mentioned previously, we're working on getting the skate park renovated,
Mhm.
starting to network with other businesses to make that happen, other nonprofits and groups like that. Just to see this start to happen is
Yeah.
very cool. And then on a daily basis, when a kid comes in and buys his first skateboard, or his parents buy his first skateboard or snowboard or surfboard, it's, as soon as they walk out the door, it's I have a friend now, but it's also, that's why I do it. It's so cool to see, pass along what I've been into for so long to some kid,
Yeah. Would you say that community involvement has helped your business so far?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, I think so. Early on, we were, and this is something I gotta get better at. Early on, I was busy every weekend going to events and just being visible in the
Mhm.
community. And then I have to be honest, got a little burnout on it, because
Yeah.
between, 7 days a week, always running, going, that's part of owning a business. I get
Yeah.
it. So I kind of tailed off a little bit and just focused on the business, and started to see that I gotta get back out and do more. And once you get back out and the community starts to see it, yes, it works. It does. And then obviously, as I mentioned, with the skate park stuff we're doing, the response has been fantastic.
Mhm.
A lot of people just stopping in, hey, we saw you in the news, and what can we do to help? We want to help. We want to do this. We want to do that. So it's been, that part's been really cool.
Last question. What type of advice would you give to a person trying to start up their own business?
Where do I start?
Maybe even just, one piece of advice, the biggest thing, something maybe you wish you knew before you started your business that somebody would have told you.
Obviously celebrate the wins,
Mhm.
but don't dwell on the losses. It's a marathon, it's not a sprint. You know, I still struggle with that at times.
Mhm.
I get excited when we have a good day, and then banging my head off the wall, what am I doing wrong? And we have a bad day.
Yeah.
You can't get like that. You gotta just let it ride,
Mhm.
and always keep your, pay attention and make sure that you're on it. So I don't know if I answered that well enough.
Yeah, that was good.
But yeah, early on it was, I take that number for the month and divide it by number of days I'm open. If I didn't hit that number, because, I was a sports guy, and
Mhm.
so wins and losses to me, every day is a game, and you gotta win. And once I figured out to stop worrying about that,
Yeah.
it became a lot easier
Yeah.
and a lot less stressful, I guess is the best way to say that.
Yeah.
So,
I think, your quote that you just said, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. That's a good piece of
Yeah.
advice. And it's definitely true for small businesses, especially.
yeah, and then the other thing that I would like to add to that, and I didn't know this before even opening my doors and owning a business, but how tight knit the small business community really is. Just the networking and
Mhm.
meeting with people they're not the same business, but they own a business. Don't rely on everything,
Right.
rely on some other, outside influences that kind of give you advice and talk you off the ledge at
Mhm.
times. I've had some good conversations with people around town in regards to all this business
Yeah.
stuff. So, and I do every day, doesn't change. So,
You learn something new every day, for
Yep.
sure.
yep,
Well, thank you for coming in and, sharing your journey with us. And we hope to have you back on another podcast sometime
absolutely.
soon.
Yep. Sounds good. Thanks again.
Welcome.